Hello my viewers and welcome back to my channel. I welcome you to a thought-provoking conversation that sparked a lot of debate and discussion in the Black community. A German woman's viral video which has set off a firestorm of reactions from our brothers, and today we are taking a look into the heart of the matter. Now in her video she claims that Black women are no competition for her when it comes to winning the heart of a Black man. She attributes her success to her traditional feminine values such as cooking, cleaning, and showing genuine interest in her partner's needs. But is it really that simple? Are we Black women lacking in these areas, or is there more to the story? Now, our Black brothers are speaking out, sharing their thoughts on this provocative video and the broader issues it raises about relationships, cultural differences, and the state of Black love. So join me as we explore the complexities of this conversation and examine the underlying themes that have everyone talking. From questions of cultural identity to the challenges of building healthy relationships, we are getting real and going in depth. So let's get started. Check out these interesting videos. I will be right back.
I already knew I had him because there was simply no competition out there for me. But let's just look at it objectively. You had this average Black American guy who now was able to choose between what he was dealing with before and somebody completely new. And let me tell you, the moment I stepped into that man's life, he really didn't know how to deal with my femininity because I was not loud. I was not screaming. I was not trying to, be louder than him. I didn't interrupt him because that's not something that I learned from home. If somebody would speak, and especially a man, you would let that man speak and then you would listen and then say whatever you have to say, right? So I was clean. I cooked. He didn't know what it was when a woman is actually in the room asking him, like, do you want something to drink? Before I got myself something to drink. Do you want something to eat? Before I started to eat my food, I would ask him, do you want to have a bite? I would come out of nowhere and just have a fruit bowl and just offer him some fruit. He didn't know none of this. So my husband, back then boyfriend, really thought this was a dream come true. He didn't know how to deal with none of this because all this me coming through, just being nurturing by nature, his peoples and his family didn't even do that for him. Like the family, there is no family unit. The average family, especially Black American family, has barely a family unit. There is no breakfast, lunch, and dinner at set times. And these are things that I introduced my husband to with my family. Can you imagine that impact that I had on him back then? So gentlemen, do not be afraid of traveling. There are so many more women out there who are willing to take care of you. It doesn't matter if they're young, it doesn't matter if they're older. They are willing to take care of you, willing to work with you, willing to be a part of your life. You don't have to deal with whatever you are dealing with back in your hometown because unfortunately a lot of American women are lost in the delusional world that they are living in, and they don't even understand that they are going to be lonely for a long time, if not for the rest of their life. They say by choice, but I don't believe them.
We need all non-melanated African American Black people to stop speaking on Black relationship issues. We don't need your opinion. We don't need your advice. What happens in our house stays in our house. We gonna figure it out. We still love our women. We gonna make it work. Y'all getting way too comfortable putting Black men, Black women issues in y'all conversations. This is not a cultural exchange program. This is not a raise your hand and give your opinion. We didn't ask for it. We don't want it. We good. Black men still standing on business. Stop speaking on Black women. We good. Are we good?
Brothers, y'all gonna let her get away with that? Tell me you heard what she said. Tell me you don't think she don't. Now I understand the sisters why they feel the way they feel, but that's the distraction. She really dogging you, making you look like a welfare case, making you look like a sick puppy, making you look useless, making you look hopeless until the great white hype came into your life. Of all those tropes, I wasn't being combative, I wasn't interrupting him, I wasn't loud. We know, come on now. She ain't gotta say it to actually say it. But That was the distraction. That was to distract you from hearing how she made you look at the end. Come on, black man, just go travel. There are plenty of women who's willing to take care of you. We don't need taken care of. Black men ain't no fucking welfare case, bitch. Fuck out of here with that shit.
But the reality is something actually quite different. The reality is you knew you had him because no other woman wanted him. I mean, that's the truth, isn't it? Black women, before you get upset at everything that this woman said, please hear me out. You're no competition to this woman in reference to her man. Now, her man also, with what she listed out, had a couple of issues. He kept choosing the women who are obviously a problem for him. And what does that say about his decision-making skills? And remember, he also chose this woman. And note how rude she was also to come at all black women as if they're a competition, as if you wanted him to begin with. You see, his decision-making skills led her to think this false sense of security in which she believes that all women want him. Now, there's a difference in between black love, black relationships, and interracial relationships. And whatever you want is for you, but don't think for a fragment of a second that just because you got who you got, that in some way is in reference to everyone else that does not want him. Remember, he chose you because of the individuals that he did not want, which does not mean that you stand above and reign supreme. It means that you're the choice that he chose to pick. And as long as he loves you, treats you right, and you do the same, then you have that wonderful relationship. But where at inside of your mind made you think that you now compare to every other black woman? Now, that's where it gets a little bit perplexing to everybody else. And instead of keeping that sense of security, understand how to use it properly. You are secure in the relationship you're in because he wanted you over the women that he decided to date. And if the women that he decided to date were not the best or the epitome of black women, that says more about his choices and what he decided to go through more than who you are as a person. And after all, for some reason, when we judge you as a person, you for some reason decided to list out not that you love your relationship, but that in comparison to the other people, you stand above those other people that he decided to date. You see, that's a false sense of security. And I would ask you to consider, are you looking at your life right? Because if you want the person that no one else wants, and you think that at that point in time is something that's great, that you got the person that no one else wanted, well, you didn't listen to the sentence properly. He is a value to you, and that is great. He is a king to you, and that is great. He is a provider and a lover for you, and that is great. And all of those things that you do together that makes you happy, that is all great. However, that does not remove the reality that nobody else, especially the black women that you just referenced to in general, give a damn about whoever you're dating. And once more, this isn't a black love versus interracial relationship thing, because you are no competition to this lady if you are black and the black man wants an interracial relationship. And let him go, let him do what he does, let him love who he loves. But don't let her convince you that in some way you are less than or not high up in reference to competition when she's referencing to somebody you wouldn't date to begin with. Let her have her false sense of security, and let her have her false king in reference to black women.
Hey, a black man here. I want to just quickly raise this one point. Everything you've just said right now is nothing but nonsense and hogwash. I'm sorry to say, if white women were as dedicated, as loyal as you claim they are, I wouldn't be constantly encountering white women who have divorced at least 4 times before they reach the age of 40. I've never met a black woman who's at least divorced twice before the age of 40. It doesn't exist. There is no being more dedicated, more loyal on this planet than a black woman. I dare say there's nothing more beautiful, both externally and internally, than a black woman. They don't make them like black women. And yes, I will agree, there is a bit of aggression on average that you will find from a black woman versus others. But that is our fault as black men. We have created a society of women who have to play a role of both being a father and a mother in a relationship, typically. And I understand the reason why a white woman will ever look a black man's direction is because, number one, she has self-image problems or issues, or the black man is rich. That is not loyalty. I put loyalty personally more than anything else. And the reason why the standard of beauty black women aspire to look like white women is because of how we've been conditioned. How from the time we were children, black women have been given Barbie dolls. We watch superhero movies. Who is the ultimate prize? Superman has, is it Lois Lane? Spider-Man has that woman. It's always a woman of a specific racial group. So psychologically, that's why black men will find other women of specific racial groups attractive. But it's not necessarily because you are. Personally, man, I love my black women. I'm dedicated to one. She's like my everything. And I just want to say, can we please correct this? It's not every single black woman. Learn to do your research. Sit down and ask relevant questions. Everything you've just said right now is thumbs up. It is nonsense. I'll rest my case here.
Of course. What sister gonna sit there and let somebody have the homies come and let her out while they sit back, They don't do that, so, of course. Why are you getting on the, leave the black woman alone. You ain't got nothing to do with you. You don't know nothing about that. You're a liar. They do better things like be wives. And some of them fucked up just like y'all, but they ain't got to do with black women. That's got to do with your ass loving to be let out. Tell me how
I really want to know who be behind these videos, because at least once, twice, every 3 months, one of these videos drop. And here y'all go in the comments looking crazy because y'all act like y'all was born and raised, maybe because y'all was born and raised in America, y'all can't hear someone who's talking with an American mindset. I mean, at one point I couldn't either, but now that I hear it, I can't unhear it, because everything she said is out of the white woman playbook 101. Like y'all think women overseas think or speak the way she was speaking in that video? I mean, come. And here we go, falling for it. Us falling for it in the comments, falling for it every single time. It never fails.
Video funny as fuck to me. I hope you niggas in them comments in this video, I hope y'all ain't black American, man. Please. Hey, man, don't be embarrassing us like this, man. Y'all need all that shit she talking about doing? What, you niggas children or something? Who the fuck want to be fed 3 times a day? On my job, I can eat from over 100 different restaurants for free. For free, I can eat from every kind of restaurant you can think of. Y'all funny as fuck, man. Y'all too funny, man. And y'all be on here talking about a woman won't submit to you. You ask her what she submit. You gotta ask a woman to submit. They submit to me automatically. I don't have to ask no woman that. But I don't want her to submit to me anyway. I don't need nobody to cook for me 3 times a day. I know how to feed my damn self. I don't want a full course meal every day. You might want a salad one day, a fucking turkey sandwich or something. Who the fuck eats all goddamn day? And y'all eating this shit up on this video, man. You niggas embarrassing, man. And she telling me there ain't no family structure in the black community. I don't know what is up north or something? Cause the damn show ain't down south. Well, I wish I could say more on this video, but TikTok ain't gonna post it. I got 1,000 things to say. Man, y'all better not be black American in them goddamn comments saying all that dumb shit, man.
I have a question for this German lady. Now, looking at the video, you look about 35, between 35 and 40. And I don't know how long you've been married to this average black guy, right? But it seems to me that for somebody that checked all the boxes, right? Somebody that was just so perfect that you never should have been single. Like some German guy should have married you a long time ago. So how is it that you were single and able to meet this average black guy and marry him?
Now, I feel this German woman's statement that black women are no competition for her when it comes to winning the heart of a black man is not only flawed, but also problematic. Firstly, it's important to recognize that relationships are complex and can't be reduced to simplistic comparisons. Her assertion implies that us black women are inadequate or lacking in some way, which is a harmful stereotype. It also erases the diversity of black women's experiences and relationships, implying that black women are all somehow deficient. Moreover, her emphasis on traditional feminine values like cooking and cleaning reinforces patriarchal expectations, and it ignores the importance of mutual respect, trust, and communication in relationships. Her comment about black men not having to deal with whatever they're dealing with in their hometowns is a clear note to harmful stereotypes about black women and communities. It's a subtle suggestion that black women are somehow broken or dysfunctional, which is unacceptable. Her statement ignores the systemic issues that affect black relationships such as racism, colorism, and socioeconomic disparities. It's not about individual women or their actions, but about addressing the broader structural issues that impact our communities. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm tired of non-black people inserting themselves into our conversations about black relationships and families. The latest example is a German woman who claims black women are no competition for her when it comes to winning the heart of a black man. Not only is this statement arrogant, but it's also steeped in ignorance. What qualifies her to comment on the dynamics of black families and relationships? Her experience with one black man? Please. She's suddenly an expert on our family structures and relationships because she's found herself a black partner. It's laughable. Now, her comments about black families lacking a family unit are particularly galling. Does she know the historical and systemic factors that have contributed to the breakdown of black families? Does she understand the impact of slavery, segregation, and mass incarceration on our communities? I don't think so. And yet she feels comfortable making sweeping generalizations about black families and relationships. It's not only disrespectful, but also erasive of black experiences and perspectives. I feel non-black people need to sit this one out and let us have our own conversations about our relationships and families. We don't need their input or validation. And certainly we don't need their armchair expertise on our lives. It's really astonishing how some people think that marrying into a particular culture or community gives them that to make sweeping generalizations about that group. The German woman's comments about black women and families are a perfect example of this. Just because she's married to a black man doesn't mean she has the right to assume that all black people are like him or that all black families lack a family unit. That's like me assuming that all German people are like her just because I know one German person. It's absurd. And let's be clear here. Black women are not in competition with her or any other non-black woman for the attention of black men. I feel our worth and value aren't defined by our relationships with men, and we don't need to be pitted against each other like we're in some kind of twisted game. What's even more frustrating is that she could have used her platform to share her own experiences and insights about her relationship with her husband. Instead, she chose to generalize and stereotype, revealing her own biases and ignorance. Now, I wouldn't have had a problem if the German woman was sharing her personal experience with her husband and his family, saying something like, "My husband's family struggles with maintaining a strong family unit, That's a specific observation about her own relationship and experiences. But no, she had to take a step further and generalize that all Black families lack a family unit. That's where I draw the line. That's not only inaccurate, but also hateful and disrespectful. By making that blanket statement, she's erasing the diversity of Black families and their experiences. She's ignoring the many Black families who are thriving, who are close-knit, and who are supportive of one another. It's like she's saying that her husband's family is representative of all Black families, which is simply not true. Every family has its own unique dynamics and struggles, regardless of race. If she wanted to share her own story and experiences, that's one thing. But to make sweeping generalizations about an entire community, that's just not okay. So now she's an expert on the mealtime habits of all Black families. Black families don't have breakfast, lunch, and dinner set times. Are you kidding me? That's a broad brushstroke if I ever saw one. Did she really just assume that every single Black family is somehow incapable of maintaining a regular meal schedule? That's not only inaccurate, but also insulting. And what's even more frustrating is that she could have easily said, my husband's family doesn't have set times for meals, or in my experience with my husband's family, which would have been correct, meal times are more flexible. But no, she had to go and make a blanket statement about all Black families. Newsflash, Black families are just as diverse as any other families. Some have set meal times, some don't. Some have traditional family dinners, some don't. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. By making such a sweeping generalization, she's reinforcing harmful stereotypes and erasing the individuality of Black families. It's like she's trying to fit all Black families into one neat little box, and that's just not reality. These are just my thoughts on her video, but I don't know what you guys think. Share your thoughts, your contributions as well in the comment section, and let's have a conversation there. Thank you for always watching, and see you in my next video as I bring you another interesting video.